Hello, and a very warm welcome to you, our new intake. I'm Mr. Sorrell, your principal, and I am privileged and honoured to be welcoming you to SMSJ. We have 180 places in Year 7, 90 of which are filled by our own primary students. Over 500 families this year put SMSJ as their first choice for the remaining 90 places. You, therefore, are a very special year group. As you progress through our school, you will expect our staff and myself to work hard for you, and I will expect no less from you. No doubt, you are full of uncertainties and anxieties about how you will begin, what you will experience, and ultimately what you will learn here at SMSJ. What we can promise you is an unswerving dedication from a talented group of staff who believe passionately in giving the very best opportunities to all within our school. As you all know, we are a harmonious, diverse, multi-faith school with a distinctive Christian ethos. We share a vision in that with God all things are possible. Our Christian faith defines us, provides the very foundation on which we build and sustain our relationships, conduct ourselves and contribute to our local community. We believe that God has made each one of us unique. Each one of you is an individual, and we will do our utmost to bring out the very best of your potential and to shine a light into a future that perhaps you didn't know existed. We know we provide academic education, outstanding outcomes for our students. However, we are not just here for results, but also to educate the whole person. Results alone do not make for a successful future. A person's mindset, their characteristics, and how they treat others are all critical elements. We will refer to mindsets regularly through our conversations with you, both in the classroom and around the school, as it is your mindset which is truly the driver to your own personal excellence. Our school values, wisdom, service, and hope enable us to provide academic excellence and provide self-discipline and resilience. Wisdom is very different from being academic or clever. Using knowledge wisely is what we are aiming for. Service to others, not self. Placing others first. And hope. A firm belief in God's plan for a positive future and how we can contribute to that future. Confidence in your own self. Our learning does not start and end at school, but is constant. And what we learn helps us in understanding an increasingly complex world, more so than ever now. Perhaps, most importantly, our learning journey helps us to understand and support others in achieving their dreams. So once again, welcome to SMSJ, and thank you for listening. I hope that you will dream, believe, and achieve with us. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Lawrence Fox and I am one of the assistant principals at SMSJ. My role is primarily with Key Stage 3 at Bennett House, looking after behaviour, safeguarding, rewards. And what I want to do today is go over some personal development that we offer at SMSJ, particularly the house system and student voice. So first of all, the house system. The house system is one of the vital things we do at our school, and it makes us different to other schools and it brings us together in our PAM groups as a family. The house system goes on from Year 7 up to Year 13 in the secondary phase, and some of our students joining us from our Year 6 cohort will also be in a house already. At the school, we have 6 houses. We have Anderson, Elgar, Dickens, Fontaine, Livingston and Nightingale. And when your child comes to the school, you will know already that they are in a house, and I'm going to tell you more about the house they're in. But before I do that, I want to tell you about the inter-house competitions that we hold. So we have termly, large, whole-site inter-house competitions at the end of every term. And we also have weekly inter-house competitions with our assistant heads of year and our student voice coordinators, ensuring students learn about healthy competition, but also learning about failure, and that sometimes we will fail, but if we win, we can win with humility. So, the houses. So first up is Anderson House. This is one of our newer houses as the school got larger, and it started in 2018. It's named after Elizabeth Garrett Anderson. She was the first female physician and surgeon. She's also the first female magistrate in the UK and the first female dean of medicine. And when we think of her, We think about doing things for the first time, and there's a first for everything. Moving on to Dickens, you've all heard of Charles Dickens, a former resident of Barnet. When we think of Charles Dickens, we think of not only his literature, we think of the impact he had on British society, particularly with those who weren't as lucky as he was. And so we think about that and that equality for all people. Elgar. Now, Elgar, you can see from their motto, it's very much based on knowledge and resilience and grit. And Edward Elgar was a self-taught composer and musical genius. And we look at Elgar, we look at his example of working hard, being optimistic and hoping for the best. Then we move on to Fontaine, the Red House, which is named after Margot Fontaine, a Sadler's Wells ballerina who was world famous in the 1930s and 40s. As you can see, their motto is take more chances, dance more dances, which we talk to students about risk-taking in their learning. We talk about Margot Fontaine and the example she set. The last two houses, last but not least, we have Livingston. So Livingston, as you can see, is named after David Livingstone, who was an explorer, missionary, and anti-slavery campaigner. When we think of David Livingstone, we think of a growth mindset. So you can see the motto is, I'm prepared to go anywhere, provided it be forward. And then we have Nightingale House, named after Florence Nightingale. As you'll know, Florence Nightingale was a nurse, but she was also a medical practitioner, a statistician, and also an English social reformer. She changed the face of medicine across the world, and we have her named after one of our houses. One of the largest events we have in the year is our PGL trips. These are character building trips, these are house trips, where for your children in year 7, they'll be going along with the year 8s, and they'll be doing activities such as high ropes, go-karting, and lots of other things. The premise behind the PGL trips is that they are for students to show leadership. So the year 8 students will be leading the year 7s. The year 8s have been there already last year. And as you can see from the quotes below, students had a great time at PGL Marchants Hill this year. It happens in March, and we're looking forward to you all signing up. So when they come back, they can share lots of stories with you about how great things were. The next most important part of the school personal development is student voice. We take students' opinions very seriously at SMFJ because often young people see things the adults around them cannot see. So possible roles are being part of the feedback team, student wellbeing ambassador, or curriculum advisor. And these roles are encompassed within our 3 groups. So the first committee group is the wisdom group. These students wear silver ties, and they influence teaching and learning and curriculum across the school. There are 2 wisdom ambassadors in every PAM group. Likewise, for the service ambassadors with their gold ties, there are 2 students in every PAM group too. These students are the prefects, and they lead whole school strategy with the senior leadership team. The next group of students is the Hope students. They wear the emerald ties, and they lead anti-bullying, wellbeing, and charities across the school. And now I'm going to hand over to Mrs. Pittaway, who will talk to you about rewards, sanctions, and consequences.
At SMSJ, we are keen to encourage our students to be their best selves. We believe the secret to success at secondary school is straightforward. Attend school on time every day, work hard in all lessons, show their commitment to learning by being focused throughout every lesson, look to impress their teachers by presenting all work very neatly and always finishing off classwork, and complete all home learning before the deadline. When our students make a mistake, and we all do, we teach them to bounce back, demonstrating resilience and treating all mistakes as learning opportunities. We also encourage all of our students to embrace the super curricular clubs we have on offer here at SMSJ to make the most of the opportunities to enrich their time in school and, of course, to make new friends. Every reward point your child receives counts. We use a system called class charts, which we would like you to install on your mobile phone, as when your child receives a reward point for their effort or for their resilience or their home learning and collaborative skills, you'll receive a notification of this good news and can then praise your child when they come home from school. This daily affirmation and reinforcement of positive behaviour is vital in encouraging your child to be successful at school. As you can see from this ladder of rewards, which is on display in every classroom, your child's reward points will accumulate and lead to a variety of opportunities for public acknowledgement of their achievements. Our high expectations of our students apply to their time outside the classroom as well as inside, because our hope for our children is that we're building good habits which will produce excellent, thoughtful and considerate citizens of the future. Conscious of the need to capture good behaviour and attitudes outside the classroom, we issue reward slips to students who consistently go above and beyond our expectations to support the school or to support our staff and those who demonstrate commitment to their supercurricular club. These reward slips accumulate and can be exchanged for badges which our students wear on their blazers with pride. It's important for the smooth running of the school and the success of all the lessons that take place daily for all students to behave responsibly in the classroom, outside the classroom, and on their way to and from school, making sure they follow instructions from members of staff at the first time of asking. If students don't respond to teachers' instructions, it's unfair on the other children whose education is adversely affected by being distracted in the classroom. And so we have a ladder of consequences to explain to children the sanctions they would face if they choose to ignore the school rules or their teachers. It's very important to us that children see that the system is fair and applies to all students equally. We ask for your support when it comes to any sanctions set. You will be notified of consequences via class charts. Please always discuss this with your child and take the opportunity to remind them of the school rules and the home school agreement. If you would like to discuss any issues with your child's teacher, please contact the office by email and put the relevant teacher's name in the subject heading box, and then the member of staff concerned will get back to you. You can see from the ladder itself that the sanctions increase in severity in accordance with the seriousness of the behaviour. Please be aware that it's very unusual here at SMSJ for there to be much poor behaviour at all, and this is partly because we tackle any such poor conduct swiftly and decisively. An example of poor behaviour that is absolutely not tolerated at SMSJ is bullying. Again, this is a rare occurrence because we teach our students to abide by our values and ethos, as well as teaching them the importance of friendship and caring for each other. Our staff are also visible and vigilant when on duty at all times. We ask all children to make a pledge to do their part to prevent bullying. In the rare instances where bullying does occur, we encourage children to report it straight away. And if they don't feel comfortable to do so in person, they can press the report bullying button on the website, or indeed you can do so on their behalf. When informed of the situation and in every case of serious misbehaviour we encounter, we deal with each case carefully by investigating what occurred and working towards the best outcome using our experience and professional expertise. But really, to give you the best idea of what it's like here at SMSJ, you need to hear from our students themselves by watching Meet the Pupils and Meet the Parents on the school YouTube channel.